And welcome back, everyone. We're out here in Arcadia, California, here at DXM, one of the best places to come play Digimon at. And today I got a special video. This is not really customary to what I normally do. Actually, I lied. It is. Because I have a winner in front of me. Patrick, you did something godlike this past weekend. Go ahead and tell us what you did.
Hi, my name is Patrick. I recently participated in the Baton Rouge offline regional. I placed second with Gallantmon.
Second.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite decks, probably the only deck that I play, and I'm just glad that I was able to do so well with it in a format that people wouldn't expect. So, for this event, it was either Gallant or V-TamerdotEXE, and V-TamerdotEXE being as strong as it is, I think people tech a lot against it. Whereas Gallantmon, it's kind of rogue now.
It's rogue now. I
feel
like
it's rogue now.
It's rogue.
Whereas like 2 formats ago, it was like top deck in the format. You know, you have a lot more stronger like red decks. You have Medusa. You have the ping pong Ultras deck. Yeah. You have V-TamerdotEXE, who is really strong, really cool mechanics. But one thing I didn't like about V-TamerdotEXE was it was too slow.
Okay. This is when you were testing it. Considering playing it for this way. Okay.
Yeah, it was too slow compared to like all the other decks.
Yeah.
Finding your pieces is a little bit harder, and I feel like because I've played this for so long, it's just like, you know, good old reliable, like
good old reliable.
Yeah. And it's cool using like old cards that.
Yeah, you brought some stuff back.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into the profile in a bit.
It's cool using old cards like the Biomerge.
Yeah.
And also the new cards, the AD1 Gallant and the AD1 War Growl.
For this weekend, what were some of your matchups?
But round 1 was Blue-Green Imperial. Round 2 was Gallantmon. Round 3 was Puppets. Round 4 was another Blue-Green Imperial. Round 5 was Red Hybrid. Round 6 was V-TamerdotEXE. And then round 7 was Medusa.
Let's get started with this deck profile. Show us your Tamas. What do you got? What are your Digitamas?
So I got Digimon from EX2.
EX2? Is that the draw one?
This is the draw one. For a long time, I was on the BT12 one, which is the plus 1k to DP deletion effects.
Yes.
Yeah, increasing the threshold.
I see you switch that around a lot. Why do you decide with the draw one this time?
The draw one this time because I feel like now the way Gallant is played, it's a little bit more reactionary rather than going up 1 stack and then killing 1 turn.
I see.
Because you're kind of chipping, you want your cards in trash, you're trying to build up. So getting the draw is actually more beneficial.
You're playing like a grindy game.
Interacting
back and forth. Okay.
Grindy, but it ends up being 10.
Yeah, well, I mean, once you find your kill shot, then you just
Yeah. So that's why I went with the Digimon.
Okay.
As much as I like BT12, I think the current format calls for this Digitama.
Beautiful.
Level 3s, I would say this is pretty standard for most Gallant.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah. So you have 4 BT21 Guilmons.
Okay. Discard, draw 2.
You discard a tribal name, and you get to draw 2. Really good way to get things in trash and add cards to hand. And then the Inherit is really good. It's very interruptive when your opponent does plays on deletion gain 1. Since we're on the Biomerge build now, it's easier to get cards in trash.
Oh, and you're looping.
Yeah. So you can play it out, get the card that you're missing from Biomerge in trash, and then you can Biomerge.
So this card easily sets up your power.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Next you have Searchers.
Okay.
You have your EX2 Gallantmon, which is to search your Takatos and also search your tribal pieces. The Inherit's also good, popping a 3k. You have a lot of decks around like Puppets and Blue-Green Imperial, which leave kind of like smaller bodies out on the board.
Yep.
But yeah, it's only to 2, just because with certain warp effects, you don't get the full benefit of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
You want a better inherited for
yeah, and then you also tend to bottom deck your other pieces, like your Omni-X, which is one of your like game finishers. So ideally, you kind of play this scarcely. That's why it's at 2. The limited card, the Rush Gil.
Why is it limited?
I don't know. You can blame Gilbirds. This is really good going into warp plays and also scrambling. Scramble is like a really important part of the deck.
Okay.
As you can set up plays, you can top deck your Gallants, and if it dies into security or your opponent gets rid of it, you can set up a Guilmon and you can top deck your Gallant. But I think Rush Gil is just a really overall good card in the deck.
Should it come off the ban list?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Man's humble. I like it.
And then you have 3 Gallantmon. 3 Gallantmon, mostly because you want more targets for Biomerge.
Okay.
This is mostly to extend your searching, and also you can also Digivolve on top of the BT21 Guilmon to get the inherit.
That's nice.
Yeah. You'll see it with the champions later, but you can do some cool stuff with it. Piggybacking off of the X line, obviously for Gallantmon X.
Good card.
It avoided the ban list. It avoided the ban list. It's a good card. Only problem is that it doesn't go with your Biomerge stuff. Same thing with like the rest of the X line. But this helps you load your trash more, get those early chips in, and spawning out the Guilmon more.
Yeah.
So you can get more search out of it and chip to security. Just a good card.
He's a good floater.
Yeah, just a good floater.
So you think he should be limited? Not anymore. No, not anymore.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, you play it. All right.
Back to your regular Guilmons. You have 2 of the starter deck Guilmon.
Okay.
It's a really solid vanilla card. It's 4 costs to play. Inherit is just gain 1 if you delete.
Did you ever hard play it?
Sometimes,
No.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And won? You won because you won.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then 2 of the BT17 Growlmon. This is just to play more Takatos out. The inherit is also nice to increase DP deletion effects with your level 5s and level 6s, but also this inherit to pop 5Ks now if you're at 0 or less. Yeah, so if you have any floating Digimon that your opponent plays, you can use those inherits to wipe forward more.
Okay.
And it also helps with the new AD Gallant as well.
Real quick, for the 2 Growlmon you just mentioned, would you adjust the ratios or do you like the ratios the way they were?
These 2? I do like how they are. I obviously favor this one a little bit more.
Okay.
Just because gaining memory and gaining back turn is always nice, especially when you're passing turn with biomerging.
Yeah.
But I think playing the Takato is also very important. Even the new AD Wargrowl plays it. Having it earlier is a lot better.
Okay.
And then the last 2, I guess they're tech cards because they're one-ofs.
Tech. Love me some tech.
The BT21 Growlmon. On play 1 Digivolve, delete a 4K list if you don't, you yourself.
It's never 4K because you usually have it buffed up with one of those inherited effects, so I'm surprised it's actually 4K. Okay.
Yeah. And then you have EX3 Growlmon, the limited one. This helps a lot because you're milling with its own Digivolve effect, but also the inherit. You pop your own Digimon, and you can gain Sec +1. I think when the new AD Gallant came out, I think my biggest question was how do I gain Sec +1 without going into Wargrowl X?
Okay.
There's this, and then there's also starter deck Wargrowl, which when you pop something, you gain Sec +1.
Would you adjust any of these ratios or would you still keep it as a 1-1?
Well, I can't bump this up more. So
this is at 1?
Yeah, this is at 1.
Oh, dang, I gotta get this channel canceled.
This
I'm way up.
I thought about taking this guy out, but I think the inherit on deletion gaining 1 it helps sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
So level 5s, I have the BT12 Wargrowl. The 1 Digivolve to warp into a Gallant is really good, but also the main star of this guy is the inherit. When your opponent doesn't have a Digimon, at the end of the attack, you gain 2.
Gain 2?
So, which with the warp plays, you're able to gain back turn. You pop something, you try to wipe the board, then you attack. End of attack, you gain back turn. Yeah. So that's. I want to bump this guy up to 3 always, but I think
you have no space.
Yeah, space is really bad.
That's insane. All right, let's see who took his spot because this card will always destroy my kingdom. Okay.
The new guy took the spot.
The new guy.
The new guy.
The
Wargrowl.
Okay.
This
AD1 Wargrowl.
Yeah, on play 1 Digivolve, play a Takato and then pop a 6K or less. And then the inherit is when it would leave, play out a Guilmon and a Takato, which lets you set up for upcoming turns if your opponents get rid of it. But also if you play a searcher, you can kind of search.
Okay.
Add more cards to hand.
You play this card. He has raid, right?
He does have raid.
Okay. Did that come up a lot? The way
No, not really.
She just wanted to play out the table.
Mostly play out to play out the tamer,
Okay.
and also kind of get the inherit. I think that's like the main thing.
Right. So,
Yeah.
are you playing this deck in a way now where you're constantly just biomerging? Like you biomerge,
Yeah.
this guy dies, you play out the tamer and the rookie, and then you're just like, all right, let's do it again, boys, and then
Yep.
just going, okay.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of what makes this deck fast.
Really?
Yeah, I was talking to a good friend, Sunny.
Yeah.
He was saying it's a lot faster, and another local around here, he goes by Casing.
Okay.
He said it's
Yeah, Casing.
it's really fast.
Really fast.
Yeah. Which is surprising to me because I feel like it's a lot slower, just because it's a little bit more reactionary.
Yeah, I feel like you never. I guess you never lose tempo because every time they kill your board, you don't lose a turn.
Yeah, you're able to like kind of build back up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's like the strongest part of Gallant, the deck itself.
You just keep-
I think just like the comeback potential is really.
It's a purple deck, is what you're saying.
No, it's a red deck. No, it's a red deck. It's a red deck.
What do we
And
got after
then
that?
lastly, the card that Juan hates the most. Morgrel
Hate
X.
this card.
When Digivolving, gains plus 3k and preventing from bouncing a hand and bottom decking. And then if it has Wargrowl or X anybody, you can pop a 10k.
Why can it pop a 10k? That's my problem with the card.
That's John Bandai.
That's
That's John Bandai.
All right, I'll
And
get
then
my
I think
contacts out.
that part is important. I think the other important part of this card is the Sec plus 1 inherit. Just being there.
That's busted. You know, people complain about Gallantmon X being busted. I'll leave Gallantmon X at 4. Limit this card.
No.
I hate this card. No, but this card does actually put a lot of pressure in front of his board. But people do get surprised when they're like, pop a 10k on level 5. It's like,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. It's kind of unheard of, I guess, for most Digimon like these days.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
Oh, and then the protection from bouncing and bottom decking, I think, especially in these during my run, it kind of helped with the blue-green Imperial matchups.
Right.
Helps with TS. So the star of this deck
Yeah.
is the AD1 Gallantmon.
Just hold on. Let's back up real quick. The star of okay. Just for history for the viewers here. When AD1 came out and we were practicing this deck, you told me this card was mid.
It was
you're
mid.
like, you're like, oh, this card's alright. I might just cut it. I just want to test it. And now on stream, you summon like 2 of them in one game.
Yeah, it's really
So-
cool.
So, why? How's this a mid card and it got you second place at the region? Okay,
I
well,
think it's mid because it needs Takato to be unaffected.
Oh, okay.
If they're we need a mind link Takato.
Okay.
If we can get a mind link Takato, that'd be sick.
So what does this card do? I guess tell me what this card does, and then how you are using
Yeah.
it in the tournament. Because
So
this
it
is kind of
has
unique.
so it has 3 keywords: rush, raid, and piercing,
Okay. Okay.
which is kind of important because you're dying from security and you're playing out raw like Guilmon
Okay.
that have summoning sickness, and it having rush is kind of important. Accelerate your game plan, and it has 2 Digivolvings. The first one being top 10k worth, which you can increase by using the Growlmon, so you can pop 12k worth. And then this Digimon may attack. So this Digimon may attack is kind of my favorite part of this card, as well as the art.
The art.
As well as the art, because you don't need Takato to do swings. So I really liked this part of the card, and I wish you didn't need the Takato to be unaffected and gain some DP off of it. Yeah, and then the second, when Digivolving, it's also when attacking once per turn, you pop the lowest DP. And I think
Oh, that's kind of nice.
and I think the cool thing is that you can sequence it however you want. One of the key ways I use this, especially against Blue-Green Imperial, is to pop their partition stack first by popping their lowest DP, and then popping the 10k worth to get rid of the.
Oh, it's 10k worth.
Yeah,
That,
10K
I
worth.
misread
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay, I misheard it. I
Yeah.
need to wake up. Okay, so that card's insane then,
Yeah.
because you can choose that sequence and you never care about partition.
Yeah.
Popping a lot of things, getting a bunch of memory back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's one of the cool parts about the cool parts about it. and just being able to rush down your opponent and kind of go fast about, how you're playing it. If we get a Mind Link Takato, it'll be godlike.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Or make Matrix Evolution a keyword.
Matrix. I mean, okay.
Like if you Digivolve into Gallant, you can Matrix Evolution, tuck it in. Yeah. That'd be cool. The other regular Gallantmon in the deck is the promo Gallant.
Okay.
This helps you. You're loading up your trash. Your opponent's playing big bodies. TS, they have their home rows bumping it by 1K. You have Starako around.
Oh, so there's a lot of strong.
Yeah, there's a lot of strong big bodies. And with Medusa playing out tokens on your board, you can't really play BT13 Gallant anymore because you need an empty board for that.
Oh. Okay.
So that's why I play the promo Gallant.
Yeah.
It's also like a recovery board in case you don't pop.
How often? So promo Gallant's always been like a good card.
Yeah.
And a lot of people play as a 1-of, some people play as a 2-of. How often did he come up in your matches and tournament?
Not that often, actually.
Is it because he was a 1-of or just like, he was not the optimal player?
He was not the optimal play, and also because he's a 1-of.
Okay.
The only time I actually used it is against Vortex. He bumped his medieval up to 14K with the Shoto.
Oh no.
And that allowed me to, play this guy out for free. So I think without that, or even without this, I wouldn't have been able to clap back onto that. Yeah, he's also a blocker. He also has Rush himself. So
yeah, it's crazy insane.
I think most of your level 6s having Rush, I think is really important. And then you have my star of the day.
Patrick Special.
The Gallantmon X Antibody, really good card.
Most people already know what this card does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does like what? Plus 4K, minus 4K.
Plus 4K. Pop a 10K. If you can't, you trash top security and unsuspend. So even if you're passing turn, it kind of puts pressure on your opponent, while also being unaffected with the memory gauge being on their side. They have to pass turn in order to get rid of it, and then try to pull it back, or passing turn to you.
Yeah, this card is insane. I think a lot of people for sure.
Yeah. I still think Magna X is still the strongest of the X Antibody family.
I think Magna X is pretty strong too, but people give up on that card too.
Yeah. But
this card's pretty good.
Yeah. You want it to trash security and unsuspend.
Yeah.
It also gets rid of last security, even though you lose Rush, to go into the last card, Omni X.
Yep.
This is your game finisher. That's pretty much all it is. It does help with certain matchups like Rocks, with the bottom decking. I think that's kind of the only matchup I see it happen on, where I want to see this not going per game.
Okay.
But yeah, this is mostly your finisher. There's not any really other card that searches for it aside from training boost.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're now going to Tamers and options.
Start with the Tamers first.
Start with the Tamers first. We have one VT12 Takato.
Okay.
This is your memory setter, and also a Biomerge target. Yeah. And you also have the 3 BT17 ones. These allow you to Biomerge end of turn while tucking in the sources. And with the new Gallant being able to attack, you're able to kind of pull back turn with, memory gaining inherits.
So they both generally have the Biomerge, but
Yeah.
one of them is end of turn, right?
Yeah.
Is it that one? But you do get to do it for free.
Yeah, this is the end of turn. You get to do it for free. This one you have to pay the cost.
I see.
One thing that someone taught me is that you don't have to fulfill the Digivolving into Gallant. You can tuck the sources,
Yeah.
but you don't have to Digivolve into Gallant.
Oh.
So you can tuck these under
Right.
your Guilmon
Just sit on it.
and just sit on it, and then try to pass turn. Use the end of turn to Biomerge again and just get more inherits out of it.
That's kind of dope.
Yeah.
Did you pull that off at any point?
I wanted to,
Oh,
but
yeah,
it was
kind of
not. It was not the smartest play.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going for the style points.
Yeah.
Would you change any of these ratios, or would you like it the way it is 1 and 3? In fact, would you even add more tamers, especially considering that the other Gallantmon needs, or the AD Gallantmon needs a tamer?
I don't think so. Mostly because you need the Takato under the Gallant in order for you to get the effects. But at some point I wanted to take out one, but I think seeing this often enough, you're biomerging so much.
Okay, so you never felt like you missed it.
Yeah. You're biomerging so much. You can play them out of trash too from the AD War Growl, which is interesting for for a red card to play out of trash.
True.
Yeah, so I think this is enough. Yeah, so we have 3 training.
Free training, consistency. Not much to say there.
One of the new trainings,
Sprint dash training.
Dash,
This is green, red.
which is mostly for the security effect.
Right.
I think these new trainings will just power creep the old trainings.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just because of the security effect. I think if you just play one of all the red ones, then you don't have to fill the
The other requirement.
the other requirements.
You're playing 3 and 1.
Yeah.
Would you not play 4 and 1? Or do you think this was enough consistency?
I think this was enough consistency. I
Okay.
think you need more space for other stuff too.
Okay.
So like I have one boost here.
And the one Tyrannomon memory boost. The meat.
Yeah. No, I like all my cards with like different Digimon that represent friends. So it's kind of nice. Yeah. Just like my scrambles. This is another key card. So you can rebuild into Gallant, add cards to top of deck.
So, one thing I do want to mention, your deck is constantly pushing things out, dies, pushes out, dies. When you're using Scramble, or I guess, do you not push out until you have a Scramble in hand, or like do you want to have a Scramble before you move out and start doing things, or you just wait? At some point you'll draw it and you just do it if you have it, but if you don't think you do.
I think at some point you'll draw it and you'll have it. I think it's not as of a crucial card as I feel like how you're describing it. It does set up your plays. Setting up a Takato to Biomerge with, and then playing out the Guilmon to Biomerge with. It's really important. Pre AD Gallant, I was on 1 scramble, but I think this is a really important card now.
That makes sense.
Yeah, okay. And then I have a Crimson Blaze.
One Crimson Blaze, no way. Really?
One Crimson
Not 2?
Blaze, not 2.
Okay.
Just because you're already getting rid of a lot of bodies already.
Gotcha.
This is more just like an emergency button, and hopefully they hit it into security.
That's really fair.
And then you have 2 Protoforms. I like Protoform more because when you're pulling back turn, you're usually ending up at 0, and you don't want to pass turn when you're going into Gallantmon. And it helps you control the memory a little bit better when you're going into your War Growl X or Growl X. And it's kind of like a security recovery as well, and saving some pieces to your hand. Yeah, and that's the deck profile.
Awesome.
I do want to give huge credit.
Give some shout outs.
Some shout outs.
What do you got?
One of them is guilmonbread. He's topped in Oceania multiple times with Gallantmon. He's given me a lot of advice, and a lot of the choices were from him.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's been really helpful with my wariness of Gallant in the current meta, but he was very reassuring.
The Gallant cooks. He's got to believe.
Yeah. And also Henny, he's in the Netherlands. He also plays Gallant pretty frequently. And he's another person that I'm able to like bounce ideas off of.
That's so cool. It's funny. I won't go too much into this part because I don't want the video to go too long. But I do like the fact that Digimon community is global, and people are like, I got to talk to my friend out in Asia. I got to talk to my friend in Europe. He gave me this tech, and I think that's a really cool thing to say about this card game. So thanks for sharing that. Well, that being said, Pat, thanks for making this profile. I appreciate it, brother.
Thanks for having me. Thank you guys.